to have what we call life church. And I know sometimes we come to church, we want to shout, we want to dance, we want to turn over the chairs and spill green stuff, speak in tongues, and shout hallelujah. But sometimes in life, we got to get to a place that we just understand that life is real. And so often as church, we dance around life because we want to put it all on God. But there are some things that are a reality and that we as a body of believers, as church people, that we got to deal with. And so this morning, rather than having spiritual church, can we just have life church for a moment? With all that is going on in the world, all that is taking place in the world, a gallon of milk now is $10, gas is $7 a gallon, and everything is just skyrocketed, and we're just trying to figure life out. And many of us are losing our mind because we're not accustomed to paying the type of prices that we have to pay. It would be something if the price went up and we got a pay raise. But for many of us, the price went up and our pay remained the same. And so we're trying to figure out how to do more with less. Folks are jumping off buildings. They're committing suicide. They're taking their own life. They're taking other folks' lives simply because they're just stressed out. And the church really don't want to deal with it because we really don't have all the answers. You got prophets, you got prophetess, but nobody can prophesy that this day was coming. And so everybody said, let me tell you what thus said the Lord. But nobody said, you know what, there's coming a day that gas is going to be $5 and some change, and milk is going to be $10 a gallon. Nobody prophesied that. All we prophesied was money coming, baby. Get ready to position yourself. God is getting ready to open the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing. You have room not enough to receive. But folk are stressing out. Folk are trying to figure this thing out. And every prophecy they have received, it seems like it has come to naught. It's not taking place in their lives. And they're trying to say, you know what, Pastor? I don't know if I can do this anymore. But I want to talk to us this morning. I want to have life church. I want to have life church because God never intended for the body of believers to be stressed. God never intended for us to panic when these times come. God intended for us to operate and go along our daily activities as a community. Let me tell you a secret. The reason why most folk are committing suicide, most folk are going crazy, the reason why most folk are throwing in the towel is simply because we have taken on the ways of this world and we're operating as individuals. I wish I had some saved folk to talk to this morning. God never blessed one person for him or herself. God always had the community in mind when he blessed somebody. God always had you in mind when he blessed your neighbor, with the understanding that your neighbor will love you as themselves. And so we're in this crisis we're going through because even churches are preaching now that you got to get it for yourself. When God never designed for us to get it for ourselves. We're struggling because we're trying to make it all by ourselves. Whatever happened to the time when you can go next door and get a cup of sugar, a cup of flour, maybe you can borrow some chicken legs or some chicken wings or something until payday. So now you're trying to figure out, I can't go next door. I don't know my neighbors. I really don't know his or her name, so I can't really go ask them for anything because we have lost the sense of community. And because we have lost the sense of community, rather than going next door asking your neighbor, can they give you a ride down the street, you step out on Mac and Charlie. Tell somebody God never intended it to be this way. So we have lost community. We have lost the sense of family. Nowadays when they get 18, we want to kick them out the house. But now you got to pay your mortgage and their rent. It is easier for them to just stay at the house until they can do better. They're supposed to be a blessing to you after they reach the age of 18. They're supposed to cut your debt in half, but some kind of way your debt has increased. And you're trying to figure out what in the world is going on. We have lost the sense of community. We have lost what God designed from the creation of the earth. It began with Cain and Abel. Sibling rivalry. Siblings cannot get along. Siblings cannot stand one to be blessed over the other. But I've lived long enough now to know, baby, that if you get it, I got it. I ain't got to have it just as long as you understand why God gave it to you. God gave it to you to be a blessing to others. Tell somebody you're in a season of release. We got to get to a place that we understand that God bless you